What's up, everybody? Mr. Hamblin here, coming to you from outside Derby High School on an absolutely gorgeous spring morning. You know, I hope that this finds you and yours well and doing everything that you can to stay safe during this situation. You know, by the time you see this, it will be the day that we were planning to celebrate our graduation at Derby High School. So today I wanted to put a message together to send out with some information and some advice for the class of 2020. But before we do that, I want to say two things. Number one, I really miss you guys. You get into education because you like working with kids, and without you around, it's really been tough. And number two, I want to give an absolutely huge shout out to all the moms from the class of 2020. Happy Mother's Day! Although you're not going to get to see your baby walk across the stage and hear their name today, I do hope that you have a great day. So let's talk about graduation. I'll tell you, from the day that it was announced that we weren't going to be able to have the ceremony, I saw and heard that many of the kids were upset. And I hope everybody understands that the graduation ceremony is my favorite part of my job. So I wanted to find some way that we could try to let the kids, the class of 2020, experience so many of the traditions that we have associated with our graduations at Derby High School. So what I did, I wanted to know exactly what the class members wanted. So I sent out a survey to the class members. I had Zoom meetings with several different kids from out the class, discussions, and from all of that, early on, it was very apparent, it was overwhelming, that the majority of the kids wanted to have as many of the traditions that we have had, even if it meant late in the summer or in the fall. So we ended up with a plan. No date has been set yet, but what activities are going to happen, we definitely know. And all plans or missions need to have a name. So we came up with this, a celebration weekend. And at this time, I'm going to run you through everything that weekend is going to include. The very first thing, however, I think, is we start right here at the bell. Because for many of you, this is where your high school experience began. If you'll remember, as a freshman, I had you gather around the bell and I told you about its history. And then I asked you to do two things. I asked you, as you walked towards the building, to reach out and just touch the bell so you could establish a connection with Derby High School. And I also asked that while you were touching the bell, you made a promise to yourself that you would do whatever it would take to be able to graduate and then ring this bell 4 years later. And ladies and gentlemen, as I told you then, it would go fast. Those 4 years are now behind us. So let's talk a little bit about the plan. The first thing that we're going to do on this celebration weekend is an academic awards assembly. During this assembly, we will distribute all of the academic awards that Derby High School awards students each spring. And that's going to take place here in our own auditorium. Like I said, during the academic awards assembly, students will be awarded all those different awards that we give out each year. You'll be able to pick up your honor cords, your NHS stoles, the Medallion of Knowledge, those that receive the academic letters. All of that stuff will take place during that assembly. When we're done distributing all of that stuff, we're then going to move into the second event, which basically is the practice for the cap and gown celebration. So during that, we're going to have a little presentation where we'll explain how you will march into the venue for the cap and gown celebration. We'll talk about who you're going to walk in with and all those different things. And that is basically going to be kind of the setup for the big culminating event. But after we're done with the cap and gown celebration, we're then going to transition outside. We'll actually have you march out of Derby High School the way you're going to march in to the cap and gown celebration. But we'll walk outside at that point, and then we will begin to form the line where you will ring the bell. I figured you guys knew where the bell was, so we weren't going to take an extra time to do that. But after you've gone through the line and you've had the opportunity to ring the bell, you're invited to a luncheon. The Panther Pack's going to put on a cookout for all of the members of the class of 2020 right here on the beautiful lawn of Derby High School. They're going to cook up something really good. I suspect maybe some burgers, chips, and some water. And you'll be able to sit back, have a lawn chair, visit with your friends, and have a great luncheon in that afternoon. it was a prop from several days ago. The last event that we have planned, I guess I better get down. I yell at kids for doing this. After the luncheon, the last event that we have planned is the cap and gown celebration. Now I'm using that term rather than a graduation ceremony because technically you guys will have already graduated. We're going to mail out all of the diplomas the first or second week in June. But what everybody really wanted to see happen was an opportunity to gather with their friends and family one last time when it's safe to do so. So our cap and gown celebration is going to be an event that will incorporate many of the traditions and things that you have seen at previous graduations, but not everything. You'll process in or march into the venue. You'll be seated next to your friends. There'll be an opportunity for some of the class speakers to speak. Your name is going to be read. You'll walk across the stage. You'll be handed one of the diploma covers. Probably not a whole lot of handshaking, might be some of the elbow bumps, but that's going to be a great event. At the end of it, we'll have the tassels turned, caps will be thrown in the air. Of course, I don't recommend that because somebody could get an eye hurt. And then that'll be the end of our celebration weekend. And that is going to take place here at Panther Stadium. I have wanted to have a graduation ceremony, in this case, a cap and gown celebration inside Panther Stadium my entire career. So that's what we're going to do. We'll meet over in the middle school gymnasium, probably an hour and a half before. Those are details, we'll get them to you later. Then we'll march in from the south end of the stadium. You'll come in, we'll be seated here throughout. We'll have our stage will be kind of towards the north end zone. And like I said, I'll say a few words. We'll have the graduation speakers. We'll go through the roll call, which is where your name will be announced over the PA system. You'll walk across, you'll get your diploma cover that you can then go and put the diploma you already have in, and it's going to be a great time. And then at the end, like I said, we'll turn the tassel. When that happens, we then throw it up in the air, we throw and go. All right, boys and girls, so that's basically the celebration weekend. Now I know some people are going to like what we have planned, others may not. You can't please everybody. That's a lesson that you'll learn as you move out into the real world. And I also know that depending upon when the celebration weekend happens, some people will be able to attend and others may choose not to attend. So because of that fact, I think this is my last chance to really communicate with you as a class. So I'm not going to go into a long spiel or anything like that, but I do want you to know this. You're about to go out into the real world, and some of you are prepared more than others, but please know this. By going through Derby High School, there is no better place to prepare for the real world. Things you've experienced during your time at Derby High School have prepared you for life. Lots of things are going to happen in your life. A lot of those things will happen for reasons you don't understand. But if you will do these few things, if you'll work hard, play hard, love and laugh every day, you're going to have a meaningful life. It won't be easy, and you're going to have to work hard. So the last thing that I do each year, during the bell ringing ceremony, after the last student has had the chance to ring the bell, I come up and I ring the bell one last time for all of those students that for whatever reason were not able to experience that. So before I do that, I want to give a shout out to Conley, my son, helped produce this video. I apologize for my lack of talents as an on-air personality, but please know that the message and the words were all straight from my heart. So with that, we're going to give this a ring for those that are not able to be there when we actually ring it as a class. And I wish you nothing but the best. And here we go.